Hi, Aries. Okay, so I'm so glad you liked my story from last time. That's awesome. It's been so long since I talked to you guys. I was like, no, I have to do the Aries reading. No, I have to do it. Because, like, you guys just get left for last because you're so strong, you know, that sometimes I'm like, no, they'll be fine. And I was like, no, I'm not doing that anymore. Like, the strong people should get to go first. You know, sometimes. I mean, you guys aren't going first, but compared to, like, you know, the people who are used to going first. So, Aries. Things are looking up, but they're not feeling quite like they're looking up yet, and I'll explain why. There's a situation here that you really need to take care of. And I think the Wheel of Fortune being the first card out is amazing because I think this situation, you can't confront it until you know that fortune is riding with you and that the tables have turned in your favor. And that's exactly it. You need this in your soul, this like deep knowledge, like this knowing that things have switched up, right? But you're like, wait, have they really switched up? Like, is it really over? Is the bad period really over? Yes, except that you have to talk to this person. You have to confront this work situation. You have to... You've been holding that Aries energy back, and I get it because things have been hard and, you know, financially, like, not even financially, I want to say just in terms of your identity, you know, the past few years, like, you've been allowing a lot of, like, fuckboy behavior. Or you know, like from a guy or a girl, like you've just been allowing someone to toy with you and toy with you and toy with you and, you know, and I think that situations like that, you know, where you're being toyed with by someone who's touch and go, come and go all the time, and you don't know if they're totally committed to you or not, and you don't know if, you know, but they want you to feel very committed to them, and they're leaning on you and tapping you for your energy and your passion and your fire. So you're like, okay, I think that means that there's something more here, you know, and then it's just like falling on your face. Like this thing that's been going on for a few years now, you're like, no, I want to say something. I think I should say something. So I'm going to relate it to what I did in the Gemini video where I like went off on somebody. And people have been reaching out to me saying, why did you do that? You wasted your energy. Don't give people that form. No. It's not just about that one incident or that one situation. It's about drawing a line in the sand in any situation and saying, you know what? This is not cool. And there is something in your life where you are like being like just, there is a part of you that is begging to get into that fight. You know, like, I'm not going to lie. My blood was already up. Mars and Gemini, my blood was already up. Y'all were in my sign. Like, don't. I wish somebody would. I wish you would try it. And then somebody tried it. Boom. And that's what I'm saying to you, is that somebody has been trying it with you. Trying it. Now, if as an Aries you are dealing with a earth sign female, because this is also an earth sign card, so I should have mentioned that before. If you are, and I'm trying to like veer away from that only, you know, because this person could just very easily have earth sign qualities. That's what I'm saying, like why it's called the card it's called. But this female earth sign, interestingly, in the Leo reading also came up as what for me looks like an oppositional force. So, because we were just talking about confronting something. So if you're one of those Aries that's super loving and has a lot of people in their lives that really love them, and you have a great reciprocal kind of give and take with people, and then there's a couple of specifically females in your life that are just takers and judgers, I think you're going to find that you may have let them hang around for a few years, but you can't tolerate it anymore. because they're weighing you down, you know, in terms of your energy. They're not supporting you, right? So what is the situation in which you need support? Because the thing is, this earth sign could very easily be supportive if they understood what it is that you're trying to accomplish. But I don't think they get where you're going with what you're doing. It's kind of like, but why do you keep trying at something that you know isn't going to work? That's the earth sign, you know, logic. Like, why do you keep making the same mistake expecting different results? And Aries, perpetual romantic teenager, is like, what do you mean? This is all I know is how to love. This isn't a mistake. Just because it didn't work doesn't mean it's not going to work next time. Just because it didn't work next time doesn't mean it's not going to work next time. Like, you're a teenager. You're always going to do that. And so people like this can get a little bit fatigued with you. It's not because they're bad people. It's just they don't understand your level of passion. They don't understand what it is that propels you into relationships or propels you into confrontations or, quite frankly, propels you into anything. Because this person is not propelled. This person is measured and steady and slow, right? So, this thing that you need to confront, it may be a romantic situation, it may be a friendship situation. In either case, it's a situation where your energy is being drained. And you need to pull that energy back to you. You need to cut that tentacle, whoever it is. It doesn't matter. And even if you're hanging on to it through some, feeling of like, no, this is love. No, it's not. It's vampirism. It's not love. If you're not getting anything back, that's a parasitic relationship, yeah? If you are giving to this person, and this person is not giving back to you, what is that? What's the only dynamic in the world where you can give and you get nothing back? Let's look at the animal kingdom. The parasite. A parasite will go against its own best interest and kill the host. Why would it do that? Why would it kill the thing it needs to stay alive so it can stay alive? Because its nature compels it. It can't help but destroy the thing it needs. How many of you are dealing with someone like that who would rather destroy you because they need you than to let you be? Diminish you, if you will. And then make, romantic, loving gestures towards you. I told you. It doesn't make sense. What are you doing? Confront it. Deal with it. Bring that Mercury's goes direct in Mars energy to everything. Slash and burn it. Do it. The energy is with you. It supports you. You need it. You need to let some people know. Read them. Let them know. Like, I've been really nice for a few years. That's how I felt the other day when I went off. I haven't gone off like that in anyone in like 3 years. 2 years. 2 years. No, 3 years. Yeah. It's time. Stuff happened out here that's not cool. Say it. You have to say it. One of the responses I got to the rant at the end of the Gemini video was, you can put your hoops back on and go to the projects. You can put your hoops back on and go back to the projects now. You can put your hood back on and go back in the woods. What kind of racist shit is that? But I've noticed that the only people that have like negatively commented about it are women who don't like strong women. And I mean, listen, you're right there with me, right? How many women don't like you just because you're strong? Whether you're male or female, how many people don't like you just because you're strong? Oh well. Oh well. They're not going to like you anyway. You're strong whether you say something or not, so you may as well just say it. That's the truth. A lot of people emailing me saying, oh, I think you were unfair in what you said. And I think, really? Well, Needed to be done. That's what I thought. That's what I did. We can talk about it now, but like the Danes say, it's better to apologize than to ask permission. Smart. Next card, King of Swords. So if you are dealing with an air sign, or you are dealing with someone who reminds you of your dad, there's some cards, like when they come up for me, they're like dad cards. There may be someone you are trying to make advances towards even who fits that role for you. Please stop. Right now is a time where, let me put it to you like this, the reason you should stop is because you have been broken in some ways, okay? Now, I'm going to tell you a little story that will explain to you what this month is going to do to your broken parts here. In a Japanese tea ceremony, one of the traditions is that during the tea ceremony, the actual equipment used, the utensils used in the ceremony are passed around for inspection, and everybody oohs and ahs over them or criticizes them depending on their nature. And this is part of the discussion that happens during tea ceremony, which is, discussion is a very important part of it. So, this one time, right, this is a Zen story, this one time, this very famous person was having tea and was given tea ceremony by someone, and this very beautiful teapot was passed around, and this very famous someone said nothing. And the owner was so humiliated that his gorgeous teapot had not been mentioned or had not been acknowledged, that he threw it to the ground and smashed it. Now, when the really, really famous person, a Zen teacher, whatever he was, saw what had happened, he said to the people around the guy, go get the broken pieces. So they went and they got the broken pieces. When they went and they got the broken pieces, he took them to a goldsmith, and he had those pieces filled with gold. And that teapot is now still considered one of the most beautiful of Japanese treasures. And why? It became tradition after that then, when something beautiful broke, to have it to have it redone and put together again, but wherever the cracks were, they're filled in with liquid gold. And the thinking being that something can be even more beautiful when the cracks where they have been broken are illuminated. You don't have to hide where you broke. You can celebrate where you broke. And one of the ways you celebrate it is by standing up for yourself and saying things and sending those messages that you need to send. Those fiery things that need to come out of you and need to be said. You have to stand up for yourself now. You have to do for yourself what that man did for the teapot, and consequently for that other man. You have to do it for yourself. You have to see where the gold is in you, where those broken pieces were before, because they have been filled back in with gold. You are resilient and you will be fine, but these things that have happened that have taken from you and perhaps slowed you down and dulled your shine, all these things now start to clear up. And what they leave behind is a sense of contentment, sure, but also you really just want to communicate. You really want to talk. You want to say what's on your mind. Mercury in Mars, like Mercury in Aries, right? Like, I got to talk about this fire. I got to talk. And not only do I have to talk, I got to move. I got to move around a little. I got to take a trip. I got to do something. I got to get out of this funk. Right? I was just going to talk about how things are going to come full circle and you're going to get money. Oh, I love it. Because I was just about to say, we started with the Wheel of Fortune. I was just about to open my mouth and start saying that. Here we go. Money. Yay. We needed that. Full circle. Things are coming around. Things are looking really, really good. But you need to get this stuff out. do what I did. I'm serious. You can see it in me in the Gemini video, how I relax after I say all that stuff, because it had just been eating at me. Oh! And the bottom of the deck you saw there was the Two of Cups. I'm just going to leave this here. We don't need to shuffle anymore. The bottom of the deck before was Two of Cups. Let's look at all these cards together. And now the bottom of the deck is the Four of Wands. Another way of saying it really doesn't matter what you do. You can't really screw this up right now, Aries. So, tables turn. We go from this situation that has been extremely hurtful in many ways, and from people that have been judgy and looking down on us. We confront these things now boldly and openly with a pure and clear heart. Some of what we've been hanging on to, why we've hung on to these people, is because they remind us of something that we think we need. Sometimes Aries thinks they need something to buck against. What's the point of having these horns if there's nothing to hit? Right? You ever seen Aries fighting? They love to hit each other. They love it. I wouldn't be surprised if there's like an endorphin release when they do that. But you need something to hit against. But don't get so enthralled by having something to push against that you do it unnecessarily. You understand? You don't need to ram the situation again and again and again. Just say what you need to say. Use that Mercury going direct in Aries to get what you need to get out. Confront it. And then let the rest of this stuff come into your life. Love is coming. It's a little bit delayed because y'all are being real stubborn and scared. And you're hanging on to toxicity. So love can't very easily. But the messages will start. Okay? It's going to start happening. You will take a trip that will also facilitate this. And you will have more than ample resources to do so. Communicate, communicate, communicate. End of the month, money. Money. Okay? Now, one more thing. You know what these cards show me here? They show me some people who are a little bit immature and are still making some mistakes. This guy's pretty immature. This guy's pretty immature. Obviously, this guy's immature. Even this guy's immature. My dad's a Libra. He can be hella immature. Right? Why do I point that out? You gotta let people make their own mistakes. I know you love people and you want to save them from themselves, but it always backfires on you. Don't do it. Let people fall down. You can always help them up. But no one is listening when you're like, be careful, be careful. You're just wasting your time. People are always only going to learn the way they're going to learn. You're wasting your resources. Stop trying to save people from themselves. Save yourself. Help yourself. Use this fire energy now for yourself. Communicate your wants and your needs. Communicate your misgivings. Say what you gotta say. Even if later, like someone texted me and was like, oh, you went off on that poor lady. It wasn't even her that was doing anything, whatever. And I was like, nah. You can always later be like, sorry. Like I said, better, easier to apologize than ask permission. Meh. Sorry. I mean, I still think it's a douchey thing to make videos like that, so I'm not really sorry at all. But, like, sorry. Whatever. Say what you need to say. Say what you need to say. People are gonna say anything. People are going to talk no matter what. Right? My mom, again, Aries, always says, the way she puts it is, Khuda ke piche bhi log baatein karte hain. People even talk behind God's back. What are you gonna do? Who cares? Let them talk. She's like, the minute I like was on the scene as like a young girl, every person I knew was jealous of me and wanted to like be me. So what? People talk behind God's back. I'm like, in this scenario, did you just, okay. Are we equated? Okay. All right, Mom. No, I got you. You know, but she's right. Like, who cares? Say what you need to say. Someone's always going to be talking something anyway. no matter what you do. Say what you need to say. Get it off your chest. You deserve it. And you're coming into a period of so much good stuff. Get this gunk out of you. You don't need it. Let it go. Let it go. Just get in people's face and tell them, like, you know what? This is what I think. Deal with it. Because what you're doing by letting people make their own mistakes. See, first you tell them what they're doing, and then let them figure it out. Let them make their own mistakes. What you do when you do that is you make room and time for yourself. You make room and time to love yourself and take care of yourself so someone can come in and love you properly instead of people you just trying to save out of pity. Mars and Gemini. I'm not trying to bite your head up, but I'm saying you can't be with someone just because you feel sorry for them. You can't just be friends with someone because you feel sorry for them. You can't stay in a job because you feel sorry for the people who don't know how to run what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is not, like, the only way I can put it to you is, like, you are not Mother Teresa. You're not even the type. You're not even the type. Stop holding on to, like, painful stuff here and say what you need to say and stop putting other people's feelings before your own. You know, it's not like you to do it, so stop doing it. Okay? Good. Short, but, you know, again, you guys rock. It's easy. It's always easy. It's always easy. When you don't put pressure, and you haven't been putting pressure. Like, you see, you guys are so smart. You learn. You adapt so well. My mom learned from watching the video. She was like, oh, I saw that video where you said I put pressure on you. And, like, since then, like, I've had to call my mom and be like, yo, mom, what's up? And she's like, I'm good. How are you? And I'm like, this is a woman who calls me, like, 8 times a day and is like, hi, how are you? What are you doing? Did you eat? Did you drink? Did you? And now I call her and I'm like, hey, mom, how are you doing? And she's like, oh, hi. How are you? And I'm like, what happened? Like, she's like, I just don't want to put any pressure on you. It's like, no, mom, I love you. You can put pressure on me. I think I like it when you put pressure on me. And she's like, I know you do. And then, like, the next day after that phone call, she called me 4 times. There's no middle. No middle. But I'd rather have, right? So it's like when you have that confrontation and you pull back from someone, they're immediately going to be like, oh, no, I want your energy. I love your energy. Let them. Teach them. Let them make their own mistakes. Let them learn from their. I don't know why my video has been cutting out like that. It sucks. I have to go back to the Apple store again. But yeah, show them what it means to see that side of you and to know what it feels like if you're not always there loving them, you know? Okay, so there's that. I will be in Denmark for the next 3 months. I will be doing readings while I'm here. And I'm going to be in San Francisco for 3 weeks in October and a week in LA. I will be doing readings, but the slots are filling up for the in-person readings already. So there's no way there's going to be slots open if you wait till the end of the summer to book. If I were you, I would book now, actually. Because people are, like, ruthless for some reason, in SF particularly, about readings. So, and it's like big groups of people are doing it as well. So, like, I'm just going to be really, really, really busy. We're doing a bunch of satsangs in Oakland as well. So it's just going to be hectic. All right. Other than that, oh, for the people who are wondering about traveling within Europe to come to Aarhus or Copenhagen to get readings, it's very possible. It's super cheap to get here. Yeah, let me know. Let me know. We've done it. I've done it before. It's super easy. I'm a half an hour from London, for example. So if you were planning on a trip to the Danish countryside, it takes half an hour to get here. And yeah, you can have a reading. Okay? All right. I love you guys. I adore you guys. My Bay Area Aries. What? Where have you been all my life? Like, I have not been the same since. Like, I found my peeps, and you are one of them, okay? I love, love, love you guys. I'll see you in June.